Howdy, y'all.
Howdy.
Brad and Cindy.
Swafford Homestead.
We're trying to get her to talk here.
I can talk.
You haven't been on the videos in quite a while. She's feeling a little better today. I thought we might try this and see how long she can hold out for it. But we're hoping she makes a good one here.
Maybe.
You've had a pretty good day.
Yes. Bongo's barking at everybody going by.
It's Halloween. We're in the house.
Well, he's wanting to do a porch sitting, but there's too much stuff going on around us.
Too much stuff running back and forth in the back roads, going back and forth to town.
And all the neighborhood dogs are up in arms, so.
Oh, yeah.
But, oh well.
They're having a big time, though.
Yeah. You got some figs.
We're still picking figs. I'm picking up pecans. I've got black walnuts all over the ground.
You got to rig up something to do that with.
Just found, the berries I brought in. The goji berries.
So I have no idea. You just went, look.
Just found out the goji berries is loaded.
Oh, no.
I know, you don't like them. They're nasty.
They're nasty.
Dried, they're pretty good. They're fresh.
They're healthy for you, but they're nasty.
They taste healthy.
That's why. That's why. They're nasty. They're healthy and good for you.
They taste healthy. How about that? Anything good for you don't usually taste real good. So.
Was that the ones that I would throw in the orange juice just to get them down? Okay.
That's ones where you soak orange juice for you. It does work. It helps.
Some people really, I'm sure, love them. Not me.
Dried, I can eat them pretty good. I need them in oatmeal or cream of wheat or grits or something like that.
Dried, soaked in whatever you want to soak them, they just not good.
When she was eating oatmeal with me, we'd soak hers in orange juice, and she choked down a few. Just because they were superfood, we were trying to get her a little healthier.
It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Oh, but we also got
Still got tomatoes. We still got bell
peppers
and hot peppers, and what else? We're still picking stuff.
So you brought in a shirt load and a bucket load or a barrel load of what is that? A bowl load of pepper.
I've got probably 3 grocery sacks of bell pepper out of the garden this afternoon. There's still more. At
least the grocery's still doing pretty decent.
Our weather has been really unique this year. We haven't had a frost yet, and it's going to be November 1st in the morning. So
it's weird.
We normally have a frost by the 15th of October. Usually it's cold enough to kill a bunch of stuff.
In October.
Usually have to cover things up by the 15th.
It's rainy and
we're
just now getting some cool weather. We may actually have to fire the fireplace up this week.
We've had over 8.5 inches of rain this month. And it's been warm. I mean, it's a good thing. We're getting our fruit. We're getting lots of figs. I'm up to around 25 quarts already canned, and I've got probably 3-gallon Ziploc bags for the freezer right now. I'll can them later. I don't have time.
And he's the only one that eats figs.
We're still canning, but
I don't eat figs.
We can meat. We can figs. I can jellies. Lately, this is all lately. I'm thinking about trying lemon butter.
And
that'll be my last thing other than the figs. I got a few figs left. But
it's pretty cool. Your mom picked some pears off of grandmother's pear tree and brought them to you, so we can can some pears.
The old-timey pears.
I love those things. Hard as a rock.
Well, they ain't if you let them sit long enough.
But when you're peeling them suckers, they're hard as a rock.
When you pick them a little green. They're really hard. They're easier to peel.
But they make good preserves.
You let them sit for a week or two in the house in the cool somewhere. They'll get yellow colored, and I like softer.
And their grandson approved on the preserves.
Oh, yeah.
He liked them. What else have we got?
I canned
Carrots?
pear halves, and I canned pear preserves, and I made pear butter. When I had the leftover syrup from doing part of it, I made some syrup too. But
pear butter. That don't sound right.
She won't try it. But
no, I won't.
I told her it's
not unless you slip it in something.
It's pear jelly, but
it just doesn't make
it's the same thing. It's just made a little different. But
it just doesn't sound right. There's some things pears are supposed to do. Butter's not one of them.
Yeah. canned our carrots, but I made the glazed carrots.
They look funny.
They got a little sugar in them.
They look funny.
She's worried about trying them because they're sweet.
They look funny.
I call it candied almost, but
It's just right.
yeah, they're dark. Again, dark syrup. I mean, they
Yes,
look kind of
they
funny,
are.
but
I thought they was ruined the first time I seen them.
yeah.
I'm like, well, those are ruined. And he says, no, that's the way they're supposed to look. And I'm like, well, bully do you.
If you see a video on our page about the expedition, I believe it's got a big Ford emblem for the thumbnail.
You should have really washed the truck before you did that video.
Well, I made that video for a particular channel that asked for videos about your vehicle. If you made him a video and sent it to him, he would put it on his channel and advertise for you, basically. And it's really blowed up on him since he's done this, and I'm appreciative of what he's done. He's really opened the eyes of a lot of people on these small channels. We just keep getting subscribers. I don't know how long they'll last, but hey, we moved more in the last 48 hours than we ever have in this channel.
True.
But if you get to watch the Ford Boss Me channel, he's all about repair work. If you like car repair, and they're mostly Ford vehicles. He does work for Ford. He does work on the side. He works on everything. He's a master mechanic. He's very knowledgeable. You ought to check his channel out. He's very good person to help out all these small channels. He's helped out some more. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Some people's probably wondering why we made a video about our old vehicle, but that's what he asked for.
Did you put the video on of the grain bin driving down the track?
We have it on there.
FFA tractor pull. We go, and wasn't really sure I was going to make it through this year's.
About a week old now.
I struggled. I really hated because I didn't function too properly.
I really didn't get the
But
video
then
much
we
of it.
found out about one of the local auto body guys, mechanics. He comes up with something unique every year to put in this pool. One year it was a boat. He
been in the boat for a couple of
put
years.
a boat in it. And I mean a boat. It was a boat. A hull of a boat over a truck, and he pulls the sled. This year, he did a grain bin. And when Brett told me about that, I told him, I said, I don't care how bad I get. I will lay in the truck. I've got to see him pull this grain bin down the track. I just got to. He ended up probably pulling, I don't know. I didn't ask the lady over it. But I think he went like one of the furthest on the track. If he wasn't the longest pull, he was in the top 5 at least. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, grain bin can pull.
It was an S10 pickup inside of a grain bin.
But
So it looked like the grain bin was the only thing that had wheels on the inside of it running, but it was a Chevy S10.
It was so cool.
Pretty powerful.
I don't have a clue what he's going to do next year to top that. I didn't think you could top the boat, but the grain bin topped the
Keep
boat.
trying to talk me into a school bus.
It was a school bus. It's so plain.
Yeah, but it'd be funny.
But it's so plain. Oh, me.
He's pulled a station wagon. He's pulled the grain bin. He's pulled the boat. What was the other one he had? He's had...
Of course, he puts trucks in it, too.
He
But
puts all kinds of pickups in it. They're a body shop, so he's got lots of things to work with, and he puts a lot of trucks in. Spends a lot of money there.
he ought to do a hearse one day.
He's very good for the benefit.
But yeah, I mean, people come out just to see
I
what
don't
he's
know what
going to
the other
pull
one
in
was.
here.
He's had
got
something different.
Yeah, he's had like 3 or 4 different unique things like that. But it makes the pull for me.
We had a concrete truck one year pulled just for the benefit. He wanted to advertise and give a little donation, so
That was funny.
when the front loader concrete trucks pull, and he didn't just drive down the track, he actually pulled the front end off the ground of that big truck. Had his boss man been there, he probably
got fired.
Yeah, he probably got fired, but because his boss man didn't find out for a little while until he got to see the video, because I used to record all these.
Oh, but it was funny.
But it's a good
I did make
fundraiser
it,
for
though.
the FFA.
I did make it through most of the day. I spent most of it in the truck. It is fun. This condition is so strange. Even if you're new to our channel, I have a condition called functional neurologic disorder, and it is not widely known, and there's not a lot out there about it, and you're pretty much, you know, in a boat by yourself. And it affects me in different ways. And the day of the pull, I started out pretty good. I was walking with a cane, but it didn't take no time at all. The cane had to go and the walker had to come out. And dragging my leg, fighting spasms. I was in shorts and everybody else was in sweatshirts because I was hot. Of course, menopausal hot flash didn't help on that none. But somebody had told me I needed to get in the sun and warm up. I said, I'm not shaking because I'm cold. That's the condition. And as the day went on and I stayed in the truck, my legs started working again and the shakes just started subsiding. So I went back to the cane, and people just look at you like,
They don't know what to think about this.
Brett made a comment on the way home. He goes, do you ever feel like people think you're faking it? Or something to that effect. And I'm like, every time I go out.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I don't go out in public very often anymore.
But she laid in the truck most of the day and half the night.
Yeah.
I poked food and drinks in occasionally when she wanted something.
I sat out long enough for the auction. Once the auction was over, I only got out of the truck to go to the bathroom. Other than that, I stayed in the truck. Actually, I was fine. I mean, I had my chair laid back, blanket thrown over me, and I was sleeping half the time. I made him promise me to wake me up when the grain bin went down the track. I had to wake up when the grain bin went down the track. And every once in a while, one of the loud trucks would wake me up. But I catnapped most of the night. I took little naps, and I laid there and listening. Because I can process as long as I'm not looking. Because some of mine, one of the things I've been told is to look for things that can trigger the mind to do the shutdown that it does. Look for triggers, kind of like what you would do in a migraine and stuff. And one of my triggers is my mind being overstimulated, like a bunch of conversations or a bunch of people and a bunch of different patterns. That will trigger me faster than anything else. Next to lights.
Church is pretty hard.
The flashing of the LED lights and stuff a lot of places use.
But didn't make it to church today. It was
those
not
things
easy, but she made it through it. It's bad to say that it's hard to make it through church, but it was difficult on you. But at least you got to sit in the sanctuary today. That's the first in several weeks.
Yeah, we've been sitting in a side room, but it's just not the same. I'm like, what's the point in going all the way to church to sit in a side room?
It's not the same.
There's a guy that preaches on the computer that I listen to on days that I can't go, and sitting in the side room is no different than that. And all I'm doing is making an effort just to show up at a building, and most of the time nobody even knows we're there. The pastor usually sees me when I come in, but other than that, there's only a handful of people that even knows we're there when we sit in the side room. And because I can't talk, I can't fellowship with people because too many conversations, too many patterns. But today I got hard-headed. I told Brett we was going to sit in the sanctuary or we were going to sit in the truck, but I wasn't doing the side room today. I sat in the sanctuary, sat in the back. I looked like I slept through the whole service because I sat with my sunglasses on and my eyes shut. But that was about the only way I can sit in the church. I tried to look around for a little while. Big mistake. It triggered the spasm. And about halfway through the service, that triggered a back cramp. And like, ooh. Brett looked over at me and service was wrapping up and he goes, you want to just go ahead and go? And I'm like, yep, I want to go ahead and go. I had a cramp in my back from the spasm. So
I wanted to get out the door with her before everybody else got up and got ready to leave because we've got 2 doors out of the church and 100 people tries to go out them 2 doors. It takes a while.
And I don't walk
Because they
very
don't get in no
fast.
hurry, and of course everybody wants to talk and fellowship, and people's trying to come in because there's 2 services, and people's trying to go out. And I said, let's just slide out right here at the very end before he says amen, and we'll be at the door by the time he does, and we'll be out first, and you can get to the vehicle without being hindered.
Or a hindrance to somebody else, because I move really slow. I don't like being in public anymore. I don't like being out where other people can see me.
It makes it hard.
We walked with our daughter yesterday. We took our grandson to meet up with our daughter in a neighboring town because they were doing the trunk treat thing last night. And we walked around with him just to kind of help her with him because there were a lot of people there. And I was using my walker, and yeah, some people I think thought that was a costume.
We kind of stood off to the side and let her go in and out, but yeah, we watched over them.
It's the protectiveness of us. We just wanted to make sure they were okay. And they got off to going home okay. Yeah, we don't do Halloween, but we did the trunk or treat with her. But, you know, it's this condition is very lonely. Puts a lot of stress on Brett because I will not go out in public without him. Unless my daughter's with me. My daughter is the only person I will go out in public with besides Brett. And so I spend 98% of my time at home. Which is really, 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 really not me. I love being in public.
No,
I used to love being in public.
We've had to swap roles because she's become the stay at home, don't really won't be around nobody
And
kind of person because of her issues. And I'm the one that has to go out and learn to deal with people, and that's never been my thing.
No, it hasn't.
This YouTube channel has been the hardest thing I've ever done is talk to a camera. And it's still hard, but I'm a lot better than it used to be with it because it took me forever to make the first video.
He is an introvert of introverts. I'm an extrovert of extroverts, and now we're switched. He's having to be the extrovert, and I'm having to be the introvert.
No, I don't like it.
No, he doesn't. I did go to the dollar store with you the other day. I made it for what? Maybe 5 minutes in the store?
My first couple aisles, and you had to go. We have to try those.
There's something about the lighting, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't even in the door very much. And it wasn't like it was crowded. And I think it's the lights in there. It's these new style LEDs or whatever. I don't know. But it'll trigger my head every time.
They do have a flash pattern.
They flash. They definitely
can see
flash.
She can see the flashing of the lights. Most people can't see it unless they've got condition, usually something like hers or something that causes your mind to focus more. Most people don't pay attention to the flash.
I can watch something on my little screen on my phone and it not bother me at all. I can get on the computer screen, I ain't on it 5 or 10 minutes and my head starts spinning.
Well, computer screen flashes.
But
you can't see it up close, but
yeah, what do you call
I
it?
can't see it up close.
Pixels or something?
Well, it's the way the electricity goes to the hertz of it.
Anyway, it looks like a flashing light to me. And it's like the lights that we have in here in the living room, the one that we are using right now that making us look like we're not in a dark dungeon. That messes with my head a lot too. That's one of those reasons why I don't do very many videos is because we have to turn that light on. Now the lamp that we have, it doesn't do it as bad. So it doesn't think.
If you set a computer off from you, good sized building, and you go from set it on one side and you walk to the other and try and look at it, you can see the flashes.
I see them no matter what.
I used to work in the factories. They had computers set up for shipping in the back end of the buildings, and when you walk in the door, if you turned and looked, you could see the flash off them things. They flash pretty bad. The screen rolls on some of them on camera. If you put a camera to them, the screen will flash and roll. But you don't see it with the naked eye. Most people don't. There's a few that does.
The therapy, which
I can kind of see it at times, but I don't. Most time I ignore it like everybody else.
the cognitive behavioral therapy that we have to do as part of the treatment of this condition, the therapist I had retired, and so the one I have now, we do telehealth on the computer. And I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing this, and every once in a while I'll look at the screen and talk to her, and I'll do this, and I'll do this. I told her the other day, I said, I'm not looking at the screen for a reason. I'm not looking at the screen because the screen is really making me dizzy, because I was having a bad day that day anyways. And so when I have a bad day, it just intensifies the screen. And so I'm like, I'm not intentionally ignoring you, but I cannot look at this screen. And she goes, oh, just do what you need to do. But it does. And then you say that, and somebody will look at you like you're nuts. I get so many crazy looks. Mm-hmm. But that's why I don't do as many videos now as we used to put out. It kind of falls back on Brett a lot, and he's been so busy here just keeping up the gardens and the house and the yard and everything, and watching over me to make sure I don't face plant or get hurt or something, that we just haven't had a chance to make very many videos.
We've got to make one more of the garden because about the middle of this week they're calling for frost.
No.
It's actually going to frost in November instead of October. So I got to pick everything this week. I can get picked, and what I can't, we're going to cover up because it's supposed to do it for 2 or 3 nights and then warm back up again. So hopefully we can keep the tomatoes going. I was told I'd never get a tomato out of them, and I've got a bunch of nice, pretty, light green tomatoes now. They've already got to the point they're trying to turn, but yeah, they're a little late. Technically, I should have already lost them, but I might get a ripe one yet.
But
I'll try to do a walk around. We still got mustard greens and turnip greens and red ripper peas, and I don't know, there's something else growing. Got a little kale. Still got a few things out there besides vegetables. And our sorghum is trying to come back up on its own. We got sorghum over it's 2 foot tall. I cut it all down, but I didn't get a chance to plow because I blowed my last tube on the front end of my tricycle front end tractor. I ain't got it changed yet. It's been raining so much. I gotta get it plowed or we're gonna have sorghum up chest high if it don't frost and kill it pretty quick. I think the pecans is about done. Black walnuts, I'm gonna do a 5-gallon bucket or 2 and be done with them. Goji berries, I have to pick them. Pigs, we're gonna run them until the frost gets them. Which I think I'll probably get close to 30 quarts this year off 2 bushes, and I've got 4 more planted. That might have been a mistake. Might not need 6 trees.
how far does it produce this
So
year?
we're gonna plant. I've got pear trees and several other things to plant. We keep planting trees. That's what we want here.
Right.
Every time we buy property, we plant trees and make it produce more food. We got to wind this thing up. We've talked for a while.
I just gonna say it. Just
We
try
probably
to
need to
explain to one. You don't see as many videos now as we was once making. Maybe this winter we can do a few extra ones. But yeah, Brett's taking care of a lot of stuff on his own, so it's kind of hard to make videos when your videographer shakes so bad that no one wants to watch the video. And so he has to do a lot of it on his own, and it's gotten challenging. But thank you for sticking with us, watching our videos, commenting us, liking and subscribing to the videos.
If you've made it this far, tell us what's going on in your area. Leave us a comment. Hit the like button for us.
You got some questions? Ask them.
Yep.
We
Got
might
any questions? We'll try to answer them.
My kids always say, Mama, can I ask you something? I'm like, yeah.
We can tell you something, but
I'll give you an answer, but you might not like it.
yeah.
That's what I always tell them. I can answer it, but I don't know if you'll like it. But thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good last day of October.
Have a good Halloween, I guess.
And look forward to November. Thanksgiving.
Yep. God bless.